Hi and welcome. So, some big changes. You've probably noticed if you've clicked on this that the name of the channel's changed. Let me try and explain. Up until the beginning of 2023, I'd lived many years full time in camper vans and motorhomes. And then as we got into the early spring of 2023, I just felt I wanted a change. I'd been for years just going round and round over a lot of the same places. And so I decided that I would sell the camper van I had at the time, which was a Mercedes Sprinter, and buy a narrowboat. Complete change. Which is exactly what I did. And to be honest, the last 2 years I've really enjoyed being on the narrowboat. It's obviously given me more space, and yeah, I've seen sites that I probably wouldn't have seen, if I hadn't have had the boat. So yeah, it's been great, and I met some great people. But coming into the end of last year, end of 2024, I was missing that ability just to be able to go off for a week or whatever. Obviously, narrowboat life is very slow. And so I decided that I would buy myself a small camper van, which I did in November of last year. And really, my intention, as I said, was purely and simply to go away perhaps weekends or maybe a week or something like that. But as we got into the winter and as we got through Christmas, it was really cold, and I was really feeling the cold, which is unusual for me. I don't usually feel it that bad, but this last winter, yeah, I felt really cold. So I decided rather than just go away for a few days, I would pack everything into the van and disappear off down to Spain to get some winter sunshine, which is exactly what I did. Met up with some friends down there and we had a great time for a good few weeks. But I think the going and buying the small camper van had sort of edged me a little bit along a certain route, and then going down to Spain and meeting up with friends who've got motorhomes. I don't know, it just started to nag me a little bit, and I realised that although I was comfortable on the boat, I was really missing the ability to be able to just go off and, go different places. Literally, I could pull up, I could enjoy fantastic views and everything else, but if for any reason I didn't like it, I could just start the ignition and I'm off. And I not just traveling, a mile or two up a canal, but I could go long distances and really change the scenery. So yeah, when I come back from Spain, I decided that, yeah, I've scratched the itch. I've had the boat. I've enjoyed it, but I think really my heart is set into the camper van motorhome life. So I decided that I would sell the boat and buy myself. I wasn't sure whether it would be a camper van or a motorhome, and in fact, I've ended up with a motorhome. Partly because it still gives me the freedom and the ability to go everywhere that I did with the motorhome. Sorry, with the camper van, but also the fact that it gave me more room than I had with the camper van, along the lines of what I had in the boat. Not obviously quite as big, but the boat wasn't massive. But yeah, I've got a nice lounge area, I've got a fixed bed, I've got a full shower and bathroom, and yeah, full size oven. I've got a fridge freezer, which in fact is bigger than the one I had on the boat. So overall, it's a good buy. It's not new, it's almost 20 years old, but in good condition overall. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to new adventures, and getting back out on the road. I've got a few ideas, or what to do and where to go in the early days, and one of those is to go across to Ireland and go up the Wild Atlantic Way. So yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that with a friend in his motorhome as well. So we're going to have a little convoy, and then obviously later in the year, then we'll make plans for that. So yeah, so I hope that those of you that have been following along with the adventures. Yes, I had the narrowboat, I know, and thank you for following along, and obviously subscribing, and your lovely comments that you've made. But I hope now that I've tried to explain it, and the reason for the name change of the channel is purely and simply because if you haven't got a boat, a narrowboat, you can't really have that name within the title, can you? So For a long time now, I've used Globe Trekker as a name for various things. So I've decided to rename the channel Globe Trekker, and it will document my travels in the motorhome. I will put a few videos on as well from past travels so that it all gels well, hopefully. And I'm hoping that you're going to like those and you'll stick with me. Yeah, it would be great if you could follow along with the new adventures, and I would appreciate it. And so don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, if you've just picked this up. But if you have already subscribed, thanks a million for following along with me. Hope you'll continue with me. Hope you've enjoyed this little update, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks very much indeed. I do appreciate it. Thanks. Bye bye.